Hey guys, so it's about almost 1 in the morning. Just got home. I am up doing homework for a audiobook that I'm listening to. It's called You're a Badass at Making Money. It is by Jen Sincero. It's a book about creating financial wealth. It is a really dope book. She had me in tears a few minutes ago doing some of this work. Basically, you go through each chapter, and at the end of each one, you get 4 or 5 steps to work through. It may be creating a list. It may be writing a letter to yourself. It may be writing a letter to a family member, writing a letter to the Lord or whoever your higher power is. It may be making a list of memories from your childhood, working through some emotional stuff that's been blocking you from reaching your next level of financial success. I'll share a little bit of my book with you where I work from. The first chapter, the first bit of it, you had to list reasons why you deserve money. And then we went into things that you would do once you get rich. Things that make the world, reasons money made the world beautiful. And then you worked through awesome things you would do with your money. How you being rich would benefit others. This is my letter to money. Tonight, got a little emotional for me. I want to share a little bit with you guys. Tonight's list, we had to work through 5 things that you remember your parents telling you about money when you were younger. After that, you had to break down the negative thoughts about money. After that, you have to rewrite those negative thoughts into truths. What you now know to be true. What are your truths about money? The one that sticks out to you the most, you have to turn into an affirmation for yourself. And that's something powerful to me. Because for so long, I held those things that had been ingrained in my head as the truth. And it got really emotional for me. And I told you I was going to be really honest and true with y'all. So I'm going to share a little bit with you. Maybe similar to some of your situations. These were my 5 things that I remember being told when I was younger. Number 1, money doesn't grow on trees. I think we can all attest to that one. Number 2, we can't afford to buy that. Number 3, you have to earn it or you got to work for it. Number 4, you have to put half your check in the bank. My very first job was at McDonald's. I busted my ass at McDonald's. I would go to school. I would get up at 5 in the morning. I had to be at school by 6:15, 6:30. I had ROTC, drill, and color guard practice after school. We got done about 5:30. I'd be at work by 5:45, 6 o'clock. I'd work till 11:30. Go home, do homework, get back up the next morning, do it all over again. I made about $350 a week working at McDonald's. Minimum wage was like $5.25 back then. Half of my check went into the bank every week. I had to buy my own clothes, my own shoes, my own toiletries, all that. There were no luxuries, and it was my money. I busted my ass for that money, and it was my money. Couldn't buy luxuries. There were no video games. There were no trips. There was no jewelry. Basics. The rest of my money went to the bank. Number 5, this is my money. I have a job and you don't. I can remember asking my parents for money for a field trip, money to go to the mall. Nah. And I had a job and I wasn't allowed to use my money. But later I found out my money was being pulled out of my bank account to pay bills, to facilitate y'all going on trips. Made me feel some type of way a little later in life. So, breaking down those negative thoughts, I've only gotten through 2. I said, because I was always told that we couldn't afford things, I make irrational purchases for myself in order to make up for the things my mother refused to buy me and the things my father couldn't. The second thing I wrote down, I was forced to work in high school in order to buy my own clothes and shoes. I had to put half of my pay in the bank and still wasn't allowed to make purchases for luxuries that I wanted after I had worked for the money. Because of that, I do not force my daughter to save her money as I should. I have a 10-year-old that does save money. She has a savings account, but I don't force her to put money in the bank as much as I should. And reading this, I'm almost ashamed because I know better. And I know that I should make her save money. I know that I should encourage her to save money. I know that. But saying it out loud, reading it on paper as I'm writing it, I know better. And I'm so ashamed of myself for not doing a better job of teaching her to save money. And I haven't done so because of my experience, because of what was done to me. And that's not fair to her. I'm setting her up ultimately to fail because of something that happened to me, and that's not okay. And the whole purpose of my journey, of my whole path right now is to pick up tools, to learn, to empower other people, to gain experience and gain knowledge that we didn't get when we were younger. But this is a tool I have. This is knowledge I have. And I'm not empowering my daughter. And I'm almost ashamed. I am ashamed. And it bothers me. So that is something that I have to address now. So I encourage each of you, if you have children, if you have siblings, if you have friends, encourage them, if they don't already have savings accounts, not a checking, a savings account. Have a portion of their pay deposited there each pay period, not them depositing it themselves. Have it already coming out, direct deposit, put it in there. Savings is important, not only for a rainy day, but for future investments, for their next step in life, for your next step in life, for that fork in the road. When you decide what your next step is, you need to have that money saved up. For my children, it's going to be for their college, for their car, for whatever path they choose, they need to have that money. I'm going to do better. This was an aha moment, a light bulb, God speaking, whatever. I get it. Thank you. Loud and clear. Got you. Yeah. Just wanted to share. Because it's an aha moment for me. So, you live and you learn. I told you. Trial and error. You're here for everything. Even when I fuck up. So, we're in it together. There you go. It's my lesson for tonight. Get a savings account. Encourage your kids to save. It will definitely help them in the future. There you go. It's my tidbit.